everyone, welcome to another tutorial. We're painting another Christmas card. This time it's this fox with a gift box. So this gift box is totally optional. You can also add more snow if you like to. I did use somewhat a reference photo for this fox because I wanted to see something like the face is hidden and overall the shape of the fox. So the proportions are correct and so on, and I wanted to focus a little more on the eye. That's why this video is about half-hour long, but you don't have to get lost in details. It's overall just the image of a fox. And the snow was painted mostly wet on wet. This is the reference photo, so you can use this one, or if you see another one on Pixabay website, for example, that's fine too. All my pencil sketches are always available for download on Patreon, so please feel free to use this sketch. You can also sketch along. And these are all the colors that I used for this painting. Very, very basic palette. So there's only 7 colors, and indigo was basically a darker shade of my blue, the cobalt blue. And then neutral tint to add some shadows and so on. Every single color here is super common, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And of course, if you don't have a certain color, anything close enough is fine. And this is Arches, actually. Arches watercolor paper, cold pressed, 140 pounds. I've mentioned this before that I had this pad 7x10 and I bought this while I was traveling. And I don't like really the texture on this paper. It's not the same as a typical Arches paper. It does say also Canson on this pad, so I was confused. Anyway, I flipped the pad and I was painting on the back side of it, which is the smoother side of a watercolor paper, and I enjoyed it much better. For the brushes, I used just Princeton brushes this time, and around 0 and then 4 and 6, different series, because round 0 is Snap, which is a stiffer brush, than round 4 and 6 Heritage series. So basically I would use the 4 and 6 Heritage to wet the areas and paint, I guess, the larger parts, because it's a softer brush and I prefer overall to paint with softer brushes. And then I would use the round 0 brush Snap series, which is stiffer brush, for smaller details when I was painting, for example, the eye of the fox. And then I used the Rigger Tube brush, which is also Heritage series, the softer series of brushes, and that was just to paint some of that hair on the fox. And there's some longer strokes on the outside, like in the background, some grassy parts and stuff like that. So my palette, I always take a screenshot of this palette because I really want you to know what colors are placed where on my palette, so you can follow along easily. In this painting, I'm going to start from the background. So I am wetting the background using the round 6 brush, softer brush Heritage series. It's easier to overall wet any surface for me using a softer brush. So wetting some parts, I'd say majority of the background, but I am leaving some spots open. And then once I start adding the color, which the first one is cobalt blue, you will see better where actually I wetted those areas. And I started with the cobalt blue, but I added a little bit actually of the peach phthalo blue. But the main color is the cobalt blue. So that's why I didn't make a big deal out of the peach phthalo blue, and I didn't mention it in the color swatches. So I just added some of the indigo as well to the background, and now I'm adding Van Dyke brown. So as you can see, it's a background more on a grayish side because I am trying to give a feel of the winter.